Hey y'all, here's my summary for Module 2 on direct instruction. First, mathematical proficiency. According to the National Research Council, math proficiency is represented in 5 areas. First is conceptual understanding, and that would be teaching concepts while giving visuals, if we're talking about direct instruction. And 2 is procedural fluency, and that is teaching explicit strategies. 3 is strategic competence, which is monitoring student performance. 4, adaptive reasoning, and that is, can students explain what they have learned so far? And the 5th one is productive disposition, which is for students to see that learning math and making sense of it and that their hard work is worth it. So, meaning that the learning is meaningful to them. And now for direct instruction. As you can see here, this is the lowercase direct instruction. And this is an instructional strategy that includes presenting content in small steps, explicit explanation and modeling of the content, guided student practice with support that is faded as students gain the skills, feedback and error correction with the student, independent practice and review on an assessment. So here it's also known as explicit instruction, and these steps work very well with the gradual release model, and easier to remember, I guess, is the I do, we do, you do. So yeah, that's the lowercase direct instruction. So now we're into the uppercase direct instruction, which refers to instructional programs that have direct instruction, the lowercase letters, featured within a systematic and scripted curriculum. Sorry, typo there. And direct instruction has been found to be highly effective when delivered by well-trained teachers, and direct instruction has been found to be highly effective for math instruction. And the evaluation and modification of the curriculum is also very important, because the commercially developed math programs are used by both general education and special education teachers. The math program should be carefully screened for effectiveness and content. And preferred programs require less modification and fewer changes to suit the needs of the students. So I've included a program that I'm currently assisting my son with his learning virtually, and I believe I've determined that this is not direct instruction, but for what I have found is, and I'll click it and show it to you. It's, here I have the math, but it has language arts and science, social studies, Spanish, along with South Carolina standards, and here we're looking at the math, and from what I have found, it has a lot of content, and it's great as far as an assessment tool and to evaluate student learning, and I don't see that it provides much instruction other than when my son makes a mistake, it'll give a full explanation as to how to do it correctly. And he just keeps working until he reaches the percent mastery that his teacher wants to see. Like sometimes it's an 80 or 85%, but he likes to try to keep working until he reaches 100%. And I guess it is kind of cool though, because it does have awards kind of built in, and when he does meet certain goals, it'll print or send us a certificate to print, which he gets really excited about. So I think that's why he keeps trying to reach the 100% mastery on those. Get back to our PowerPoint. But yeah, I do find that when we're working in the iExcel program, that I often have to show him how to do the problem and repeatedly until he can do it himself. So we're getting lots of practice with instruction and mathematics. And here are the implications that I have for teachers. It's important to teach math lessons using strategies that meet students' learning needs. Remember to teach math pre-skills and to teach the easier math skills first. Remember to separate the confusing skills during math instruction so they don't confuse them and continue to make errors in the future. And here I have use explicit strategies and model them to help students to understand new math skills and concepts during instruction. Then allow students plenty of time to practice. When errors happen, determine the cause and correct the error while modeling the correction for the student, which should never draw any attention to the student that made the error, but encourage them to continue to work. And it's also very important to properly evaluate math programs to ensure that they are effective and meet the needs of the students. I have also included some other resources that I find very helpful. Understood.org has lots of information for teachers and for families and for students. And this is a link that explains explicit instruction, and it even has an example of the I do, we do, you do. And Edutopia is another really great resource for for teachers. And this link explains explicit modeling, which I found to be helpful and complementary to what we were learning this module. And another one that I found to be helpful is the about the evidence-based math instruction, and I thought that was really complementary to the module that we had for this week. And that's all I have for you. Thank you so much.